another episode of Exploring Thoughts, where every week we take a new thought provoking topic and explore it. We're your hosts, Melly.
And Susie. And today's topic is drugs.
Drugs.
Our thoughts on drugs. But of
Mm,
course, before we begin, we must take out our handy dandy Google definition.
da, da, da.
Drug, a medicine or other substance which has a physiological effect when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body.
I fucking love it. And can I tell you why I love it?
Why do you love it?
Because there's no negative or positive connotation on that. It's just literally either a medicine or substance that
substance.
has some sort of physiological
Effect.
effect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's a very just nonchalant
Yeah, it's Switzerland.
explanation.
It's very neutral because whoever did that knows exactly what they were doing by taking like that in the middle stance on drugs because it's true. There's you can't when something is a drug, you can't really say if it's bad or good. It's just it depends on the person.
Yeah, and it depends on the drug.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing. It depends on the drug.
it's not the drug, it's the effect.
That's true as well. But I mean, I guess it is the drug because if it weren't for the drug, there would be no effect. So you consume the drug, you got
Well,
the
I don't know.
effects.
Like, think about those people who do like a crap ton of mushrooms, right?
Mhm.
And let's say you do too much and you have a
Time.
really bad time, or you lose your life. Who knows, right? But also the studies of microdosing
Mhm.
that same drug
Yeah.
that has benefits for anxiety, depression, etc.
Many
But
things. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
so it's the same drug.
Drugs, right, are sometimes a scary thing,
Yeah.
sometimes a very necessary thing,
Yes.
and sometimes a very badly looked upon,
Mm.
because it depends, just like we said, it depends on the amount of drugs, it depends on which drug, it depends on the person,
The
it depends on
person
the
too, yeah.
situation, the environment, and the understanding. Because we all understand that there are some drugs that people take that help them, and there are also some drugs that people take that hurt them.
And a lot of those come from like big pharmaceutical companies too.
Yeah. I,
Like
I don't
the
want to go to
big
jail, but Big Pharma,
It's real. It's
it's fucked.
disgusting. It's an endless cycle. They give you pills that give you side effects that come in and they just prescribe more pills. Okay, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, you could say, because people just weren't that aware. It wasn't that blatant yet.
Yeah.
Here we are 10, 15 years later. Everybody knows Big Pharma exists. Everybody knows. It's just things that are not top priority for the
Yeah.
country. It should be because there's certainly an epidemic
Yeah.
of people, with prescribed narcotics and opiates and stuff like that.
But they should just not be on it.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
It's causing them more problems than helping. All right. So, drugs. When were you introduced to any type of drugs?
When I was like 13, because
Yeah.
I told you my dad passed, and I was having a really hard time in school and just in life. And a friend of mine, real close friend of mine, in middle school or whatever grade you're in when you're 13. I think that's middle school. Yeah, from 12 to 13, you're in seventh grade. And a good friend of mine said, "Hey, I know you've kind of been struggling with some really big emotions. I've got some weed and I think it'll help." And I was up for anything to help me out at this point, really. So, she took me to her house and she packed me a tiny little pipe, like one of those little one hitters, when you first start smoking. And I just remember inhaling, exhaling, and feeling different. Cause it's almost
Feeling
yeah, it's
different.
almost instant when you're inhaling smoke. It takes like 3.5 seconds before you start to feel altered in some type of
Wow.
way.
I thought
Yeah.
it took a little longer, but yeah.
No, not when you're smoking, because when you're smoking, it goes directly into your blood. It goes and in you're high.
Damn.
Yeah, and sh- we smoked a couple more, and it was my first time. And I was like it was natural, but it was a small bowl,
Mhm.
so we were getting it. I wasn't taking huge bong rips, but like thinking about it now at 13, trying weed for the first time. I handled that remarkably well. I've heard horror stories,
Uh-huh.
of other people's first times, but I was in the right place with the right person. She had
Yeah,
snacks,
you were just chilling.
like we were chilling. And I remember thinking, like, fuck, thank you so much. But there was so much going on at home, and I felt like, obviously it was illegal and I was young. So, this is also when in school, like drugs are bad and okay, blah, 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 blah. And
Care.
my
No
mom and my,
dare.
yeah, dare. We all let that man down. The one that came to fucking talk to us. But I remember I smoked for that year and it did help me, but then I stopped because I was scared and, at home was not good still.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck this. And then things got really bad again. And then I started smoking again. What was yours? What was your first experience with drugs?
So it's definitely weed too.
Nice.
It's funny because I remember the day like clearly. My folks smoked. All right,
Mhm.
they try to hide it as best as they could possibly manage, but I knew they did, and around the same age, maybe a little bit younger, maybe around 12.
Mm.
Um, I remember going outside. I had a bunch of like friends out in the neighborhood, like my neighbor. We talked about that guy, and people around. Um, so whatever. So I pulled up down the street. There's this neighbor and his little bike and his little friend. I'm pretty sure he has a skateboard or something. And he's like, "Hey, I got a joint." And I'm like, "A joint? Wow. Let me see it. Did you roll it?" And I don't remember what he said, but I remember him pulling out like this like white rolled up stick. I'm gonna say it like that because that's what it looked like to me.
Damn.
Because it's not like
It
I
was a
was
pinner?
smoking. No, it wasn't. It just didn't know what it was. Like he
Okay.
said joint, and I was like, "Oh yeah, really?
Oh.
Wow." Like I was one of those bitches. I was like, "Oh yeah, totally. I've totally smoked before."
Oh my god.
I knew about it. I
Mhm.
just didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to mention my parents usually they did.
And you were fucking 12 years old. So,
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so we're down the street in the motherfucking middle of the fucking road. He lights it up. He gives it to me. He's on the bike. Like he lights it up in his little bike. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is so cool." He passes it to me. I smoke it. And I remember being like, "Fuck, I'm a cough. No, I can't cough." And I give it to him and I was like, hit it again. I never stopped smoking.
Oh my
Since.
god, that's amazing.
Honestly,
what's gonna
honestly, I never stopped smoking ever since that day. From
Nice.
12 until almost 31 now.
31,
Now I'm 30, but goddamn, never stopped.
Nice.
I had to stop 1 year because of probation.
I started the next time I smoked was with you.
Oh
After
yeah,
quitting at like
in school.
14. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny because I swear that's kind of it kind of became my personality, like being like weed head. It was like me, and that's how I got friends. Like I feel like all
and
of
I
my
used to
friends
buy
right
weed
now.
from you too, remember?
Yeah, and I used to roll blunts and they were fucking limpy as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, I remember you buying weed from me. I remember us smoking a bunch of blunts.
Mhm.
I remember us skipping Chigga Schmick, I think. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
wrong best friend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
So
never
I remember
skipped school.
you come. Oh, okay.
I
You
would
came
come
after
over
school.
after school.
After school, and we would
Yeah.
hide in the bed in
Yeah.
the front of my house.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
I went with you to a couple of your friends' houses too. Once we were in some person's house. I have no idea who.
What the?
I remember asking to come over and you were like, "Yeah," and then you're like, "We're going to do this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So we went and we were sitting in some person's room on the floor
What?
smoking weed out of like a 2-liter bottle.
That's not me, Henny.
Yeah, no, I promise, hand to the gods. I know it was you.
Put your hand down.
No, I don't know. And then we eventually left. And then there was another time that we went to this little gazebo spot with your I think your boyfriend at the time and some other girl because we were listening to Kush and Orange Juice from Wiz Khalifa. The album had just dropped, and that song, we were so fucking high. We were smoking blunts in the car on the way to this little place, and I remember this song coming on, and it's called "Up" by Wiz Khalifa on that album. Bro, get high and listen to that song if you smoke weed, please. uh, I was not in that car anymore. I was
What
fucking
the
gone.
fuck, girl? I do not remember
Yeah,
any of
and then
that.
we got to the place and we smoked a couple blunts. It was like a little gazebo by water. And then we went home. Yeah, like it was cool
That's
with
crazy. I don't
you.
remember that. I
We were
definitely
really
don't remember
high,
that. Yep.
so I
Yeah.
mean, I remember because I remember everything.
All right. So, besides weed,
Yeah.
when was the next drug?
Um, I think my next experience was with shrooms. And then when I got to 27, no, 26 for my 26, it was either my 26th or my 27th birthday. Um, my my grandmother passed a week before my birthday, and my two cousins, they're like my big brothers, the three of us had made these plans to go to Disney for my birthday. We had already bought the tickets, we had already got the Airbnb. It was going to be me and my husband at the time, my cousin and his fiance at the time, and my big cousin, like the eldest one. And we got together and decided grandmother wouldn't want us to not go. She would want us to enjoy ourselves. And so we did. And my cousin brought some Molly.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I had never done Molly before, and there was a hot tub, and it was like our first night there, or the second night, whatever. We had done we had done a park already, and so my cousin, poses it to the group, "Hey guys, do you wanna participate tonight?" And I was like, "I've never done it before, but I trust you, so I'm fucking game for it." I've done shrooms before. I was thinking that it's gonna be like same thing, and I'm gonna be tripped out, whatever. But it wasn't. My husband at the time refused. He was like, "No, I'm good," and that's fine. So he just was there, but everybody else did it. So we were all rolling in the hot tub and talking about, you know,
Life.
feelings and
Yeah.
life, and talking about our grandmother and remembering her, and just feeling so much love. And
That's such a sweet moment. How
I
cute.
know it was my first time, and I felt so amazing. And it was such a beautiful moment for me. Like, I will remember that for the rest of my life because it was so impactful. I felt so connected to my cousins. I
Molly be
felt
doing that.
connected to my grandmother. We shared stories, and it was just a wonderful way to remember her, especially since it had been so close together,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And that yeah, that was probably my next, because shrooms was fun. It wasn't as meaningful as the Molly, and that didn't happen until I was 26.
Yeah. You know what? I actually don't really like shrooms that much. I feel like microdosing is fine,
Yeah.
but I feel like every trip I've actually taken shrooms, I did not really enjoy myself. But on the other hand, Molly and
Yeah.
ecstasy, I pretty much enjoyed all of them except this one time,
Oh
which I'll
no.
delve into. So that PSA, do not do what I did. So it was really early. Don't judge me. Probably like 16 fucking years old at my
Mhm.
boyfriend at the time's house, and his older brother sold ecstasy. So we would buy from him all the time. We would literally like a walk to his room, knock on the door. Hello, can we get share?
Oh no.
And we got some. My dumbass took a red monkey and a green monkey. Do not mix different types of X, bro. And I'm not taking that. I take a little bit. No, I took the whole thing, popped that sucker, popped the other sucker at the same time. And I remember feeling like I was going to die.
Oh my god.
Like, I remember feeling like I was going to die. That wasn't my only time, but that time, it was really fucked. Like, I remember having a bunch of friends there. I had this one really good friend at the time. Let's call her C. And she would like take care of me, watch over me.
Mother
But
hen.
yeah, mother hen for sure. And she didn't really do drugs because I remember that when she did, she didn't feel anything. She
Mm.
said she couldn't even take Advil and shit because nothing really helped. Like, nothing did anything. She never
Mhm.
felt effects. Anyways, not the point. So I remember fucking dying. I remember laying on the floor, and there was a bunch of people. I remember this one guy playing fucking Guitar Hero. That with
Yeah.
the with the
With the
guitar and
guitar.
shit. Yeah. So this guy, let's call him R. He's standing there, fucking on the. I'm on the fucking floor dying, bro. Like I had spilled some water because I wanted to drink some. I couldn't fucking drink it because I was so fucked up. I literally poured it on the floor. I like laid on the floor in the water, and I'm telling Cece, I'm like, my fucking wet. Like I feel wet, you know. And she's like, yeah,
Oh my
you're
god.
laying on the floor in the water. And she's like, let me help you up. Is she gonna help me up? Bro, a disaster, a nightmare, a literal nightmare. Like I absolutely hate fucked up trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like bad trips are just like scary and they're not right. And it's hard for me to do shit like that because I don't know, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, that was the time I almost felt like I was gonna die. I felt like I was gonna die for about 8 hours. I feel
Jesus
like maybe a
Christ.
little less, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, but it felt intense, and I just wanted it to be fucking over with. And I can't explain it. I couldn't. There was moments that I would forget to breathe. Like I would come up like
Oh.
this, and I would start breathing. And my friend was like, "You need to breathe. You need to stay awake." And I'm like, "I can't fucking stay awake. Like I'm so fucking high. Like I can't do this. Not nice, dude. It's not nice." Every other
Yeah.
experience where I take the right amount, where I was younger and stupid and shit, but I would take the right amount, it was fine. But we were some stupid ass kids.
That's crazy.
We did too many fucking drugs. Too many fucking times that I feel like I was gonna die or throw up so goddamn much that my
Oh
goddamn throat
wow.
hurts in the morning.
Nope.
Yeah.
I didn't do my drugs until late,
Nope.
except for the weed.
I was like 15, 16, 17. Like I said, on the last episode
Yeah.
on Toxic People, there was a group of friends and we did drugs for years on end and we tried everything. And it was really fucked up. It was not okay. So, yeah, like if you find yourself being like, I need this heavy ass drug, and I'm talking about the heavy drugs, you know, like the really fucked up heavy drugs that really do fucked up with your liver and your hormones. Like if you find yourself feeling like shit for the next few days after doing what you did, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Speaking of damaging your liver, here's a drug that doesn't get considered a drug, alcohol. It's not
Alcohol,
yeah, it's not considered it's they say drug and alcohol. Like it's not considered a drug and I think it should be. I
it
think
should
it
be.
should be classified as a drug,
Yeah.
not drug adjacent
Because
because
it's
it's doing just as much damage,
yeah, and not
if
to
not
mention
more.
you can get addicted as strongly to
Mhm.
alcohol than heroin,
Yep,
you know?
exactly. I think that that also comes down to having like an addictive personality.
Oh
If you know
yeah,
you've
a
got an
thousand percent.
addictive personality, you should stay away from those kinds of substances because they're just going to ruin your life
Yeah.
unless you have the support system and the funds to take yourself out of that situation.
Yeah.
But I think that alcohol, like I said, is just as damning as the drugs. And what the problem with alcohol is that it's
Yep.
legal. There's as long as you're 21 and over
You can
and
get it.
16 in some parts of the world,
Yeah, 18 in
okay,
Chile.
you can start drinking and have no there's no problem with it.
Yep.
And because there's no stigma, there's no issue, there's no like
Problems that have
exactly. And because it's not looked at like that, it just runs rampant.
yeah,
And I think that if they're gonna have, if you're gonna have control on drugs and shit, you need to have more control on
on
alcohol
alcohol.
too, just
Yeah.
the same, or make resources available for the people who are trying to not be,
Yeah.
because I consider alcohol a drug.
Yeah. I do too.
If
I
you
think it's as much damaging as any other thing.
if you can go through withdrawals without having it, I consider that a drug.
Yeah.
Even if it's a food. Okay, I think that that's also important to talk about because anything you can become reliant upon and have negative effects
Effects
when
on
it's
you.
not there
Yeah.
should be considered a drug. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate the stigma that weed versus alcohol has.
Yeah. What the fuck is up with that, people?
Especially like the whole wine mom
Uh-huh.
and a smoker mom. Like apparently the wine mom is perfectly
It's okay.
fine.
It's a
And
problem.
there's a little doobie mama smoking a little dairy come back happier than ever. And there's so much stigma.
It's because of the people who came before us. You remember Reefer Madness and
Yeah.
all of that kind of shit. That I
Yeah.
mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. We've come far, with
Yeah.
cannabis, but it's still
It's
a
still
Schedule 1 drug. It's
yeah.
still federally illegal.
Yeah, and it's kind of fucked up. I saw this like meme thing on Facebook somewhere. I don't know. It said United States of America, except we're not that united because everybody has their own regulations on fucking weed and shit. It's like, come on, bro. Our fucking neighbors, our very close neighbors, are recreationalized right now, and it
Hmm.
sucks. It's some
So,
bullshit.
but it's getting closer and closer each time, though. So hopefully it'll happen soon. If not, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah,
Florida,
you suck. I'm
we can't
sorry, but
say
you
that.
suck. Yeah, yeah, we can.
We
The
live
fuck?
here, so I guess
Freedom
we
of
can say
speech,
that.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we when we went to Colorado, I went there twice.
Hmm.
It's so nice. It's so
It
nice being
is.
able to literally walk up to like what feels like a CVS and just
Get your meds and go.
go get a fucking
Mhm.
joint and blunts and whatever the fuck I want freely. I don't have to
Mhm.
pay a month to get this medical marijuana card, or I don't have to
Oh
pay
my god,
this and
it's
do all that.
such
No,
a pain in the
just walk
ass.
in, show your ID, buy what you need to do, go home and relax.
It's ridiculous. I have to pay $200 I think every 7 or 8 months, and then $75 every year to get my
It's a
card
lot.
and my prescription renewed. 7, 8 months,
I know.
$200. I just renewed my card, but I haven't renewed my prescription yet,
Yep.
and it's coming up on expiration.
Hmm.
And I don't who the fuck has $200
I know,
just
dude.
for that every 7 months? And I'm sure people do, and good for you, but I don't. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No, it's fucked
It's a
up,
little
dude. It's a lot.
ridiculous. I don't just have my medical card for having my medical card. I've got
Yeah.
fibromyalgia, I've got anxiety, and all of these. It takes a toll not having my medicine or
Yep.
being able to. I if without it, I sometimes I can't get out of bed in the
Yeah,
morning.
it's fucked up.
Like physically, I'm not talking about emotionally. Physically,
Yeah,
I
you
cannot get
can't
out
get
of the
up.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like they're putting this pressure on the necks of patients because why? Because cannabis is a drug,
Yep.
and that's all they'll ever look at it as.
Yep.
You know,
Even though
but
it's
you can
helped
go to
so
the
many
store
people
and get a fucking bottle of alcohol that'll fucking kill your liver. You
at
know,
like
come
6 in the
on.
morning right before going to
Yeah,
work
bro.
because they're fucking addicts. Like, I get it. Everybody can get addicted,
Hmm.
especially if you have, an
An
addictive
addictive personality.
personality. But please get the fuck out of this stigma, man.
Yeah,
Like,
like
let me
just
smoke
let
a
it
blunt in the
go.
morning. I would much rather smoke a blunt in the morning because nothing happens to me. I
Right.
smoke a blunt and nothing happens to me. I get up, I get dressed, I do what I gotta do. I take the kids and do what the fuck I gotta do.
Mhm.
But if I would get up in the morning and take a shot or drink a beer, I promise you by 10 o'clock, I want to take a nap because the alcohol is now gone and I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
And if I continue drinking that, it's going to fuck up my whole body. Like, I'm a lightweight still. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
I
can
think
smoke 8 blunts and
I
not
think
feel shit, be chilling.
yeah, I think that also comes down to exposure because you'll have on the other end of that people who are like, "Well, I can drink 4 or 5 beers and
And
I'll
not
be
feel
fine."
anything. Yeah,
Exactly. You
that's
know,
true.
so exposure also has to play a part in this too. It's like I think the argument, like, "Oh, well, I smoke weed and I get stupid." But I get smoke weed and I get couch locked.
And that's
If
fine.
yeah,
Don't smoke
okay,
then.
yeah, don't smoke.
Just
No
don't talk
one's
shit about.
forcing you to smoke,
Yeah,
but you're forcing us to not, and it works for
there we
us.
go. There, I like that.
So
Say that
like,
again.
and I said, we're not forcing you to smoke, but you're forcing us not to smoke. It works for us, like it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
it got nothing to do with you, bitch.
all
But yeah,
right.
fuck the stigma.
Yeah,
If you want to
that's
smoke weed,
ridiculous.
smoke your weed.
Smoky weed, boo
If you want
boo.
to drink, drink, but be careful, man.
Yeah, just be careful and
And
understand.
everything, not just drink it too, right? Like everything, whatever the
Hmm.
fuck you're consuming,
Just do it carefully
smartly.
and sparingly if it's really bad drugs.
Yeah, please.
Oh Lord. Okay, well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on cocaine?
Hmm. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. I done it. I tried it when I was a lot younger in a
Mhm.
blunt
Ew.
and like snorting whatever. I also put it in my teeth and shit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it really doesn't do much. I ain't got no problem against it as long as you're doing, like we
Not
said,
yeah,
doing it
doing it
properly.
sparingly
Just
and
don't do it so much.
don't be an asshole.
Don't be a dick. Yeah, a lot of people do coke and then get really fucking angry and shit. Heard that.
Yeah.
Heard that a
Yeah.
lot. But yeah, I mean, whatever. It's not my drug.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, check this out. All
What?
right. Because in some part of Colombia, I don't know what part. I'm sorry. um, you can walk yourself into a gas station and purchase yourself a pastry. Would you like to know what kind of pastry?
Yes.
It's like a little cocaine cake.
What the fuck?
Yes. And apparently, a lot of drivers, like truck drivers and stuff, stop by and get them because it keeps them
That is
awake. Yeah,
insane.
I learned this on Top Gear. Like, they were doing an episode where they were driving through the whole country
Uh-huh.
or whatever, and Hammond, he stopped into this little stop, like truck stop or whatever, gas station, whatever they're called, and he purchased himself a little cocaine cake.
What the fuck, dude? That's
Yeah, and bro,
nuts.
they did it on TV. So that was like, I was like, that's
So
fucking
did he eat it?
nuts.
Did you see how he felt?
Yeah, he fucking took a bite. I mean, they kind after he took the bite, they cut out
Uh-huh.
to when they were driving,
So maybe he had to
and
take a nap.
I,
I
I
doubt
don't
he
know.
needed to
I
take a
don't
nap.
doubt he
I
needed
doubt he
to
needed
take
to
a
take a
nap.
nap.
That's the last
That
thing on your
boy was
mind.
speeding down the highway. That's
I just
crazy
think
though.
that's so crazy because here, like, that would not fly
No.
at all. That could not happen here, and that's so crazy that the different parts of the world and how drugs are looked at
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah, definitely.
I forget where. Somewhere there's a ban on poppy seeds because of you can create opiates
Oh, yeah,
from or
yeah.
opium
Mhm.
from poppy seeds. So even though we eat them and it's not a thing in some areas, poppy seeds are like
Dangerous.
illegal. You can't have there's a ban on poppy seeds
Wow.
because of the opium that you can make
That's
from them.
insane.
Mhm.
That's nuts.
Here we have not I don't know many things. I know in certain states you can't purchase over like 6 packs of cold medicine
Mhm.
because of the you can make
Yeah, and you need your
meth.
ID to buy regular cold
Mhm.
medicine.
Yeah, because of the codeine and
Yeah.
stuff and
Shit,
the
I used
cough
to do that
medicine and
shit when I was
shit.
younger. It was horrible.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. We used to
Jesus.
do that. Over the counter medicine. We used to do sleeping pills, Xanax, Adderall.
My neighbor offered me a Xanax once.
They're not nice.
I took it and went to sleep.
Yeah, you black out.
And I was just like,
What
what
happened?
was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to feel something? Like, I was just like, I don't like going to sleep like that. I'm good. I'm never doing that shit again. I was like, what, 20 years old,
Oh shit,
21?
yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. I'm good.
Yeah, I remember taking one and then drinking
Oh.
and then taking another one. And there's a video somewhere in the world, in one of somebody's phone, of me and this girl at the time drinking while we had taken it. And we're just being crazy and we're like drinking and taking shots and shit. And
Jesus.
I don't remember any of it. The only reason I remember it is because of that
The
video.
video.
I don't remember anything. And I remember waking up in the morning and being like, what the fuck?
No.
Like, what the fuck happened? Xanax for you. I don't like it. A lot of people get prescribed it. We used to steal it from my boyfriend's mom
Oh.
at the time. Yeah, because she used to get prescribed it, but she took it incorrectly,
Oh.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That is crazy. And that's a prescribed medicine.
It
It's
is.
nuts.
Yeah. Anyways, back to cocaine. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Back to cocaine.
There used to be Coke in Coke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy. Like, imagine going to the store now, going to get a Coca-Cola and
And
reading
got
the
Coke in
bag and
it.
it's got Coke in it. Like,
I think it still does. Like, it's very addicting. Like,
it's
you
a
drink a
different
little
kind of
bit,
drug.
and you're
That's
like, "Oh,
sugar.
shit." Yeah, true that. True
There
that.
also used to be cocaine in medicine. Like,
I
if
bet.
yeah, doctors would prescribe like cough medicine with cocaine in it and also pain meds like a serum with cocaine, and I can get that
That's
because
nuts.
it kind of you feel a little loose when you're on cocaine,
Maybe like a little numb.
a little numb.
Yeah.
More Molly, you feel more loose on. Like, I feel my muscles relax.
Yeah, cocaine is definitely an upper. Molly is definitely like a feeler. Like you feel things on
Mhm.
Molly. Like everything's like,
Yeah.
flowy.
Mhm.
I think weed it depends whether you're doing indica or sativa
Yeah,
or
or
whatever.
sativa.
Ecstasy is also different than Molly, I feel like.
Yeah, ecstasy is a little less emotional for
feely.
me and a
Yeah.
little more just
It.
happy.
Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
hype. I get a
Hype.
little hype.
Oh, I'm never hype on any drug.
That's such a lie,
I am
bro.
never what a
Okay, so we have parties, right? We've had parties. I'm not gonna say when. Maybe in the past. Maybe yeah. Who knows? So we've had parties. We've done X, all of us. And Melly's over there talking, walking, conversing with everybody. She'll come up to me. She'll be like, "Hi, are you feeling okay? Are you
Are
feeling
you
good?"
okay? Are
And
you
she's
okay?
like almost like dancing with herself. She's like, "You feeling good?
Huh?
You know?" There's no fucking way you don't get hype. At least in the beginning,
Uh,
like right before the peak, maybe or whatever. But
I
you get
get
hype, ma'am.
I get a little more upbeat than I normally am, but
That's
hype?
hype. That's
Oh
hype.
yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
hyping you.
I thought you meant like yeah.
Okay, well, no, that's like jerk hype.
Oh.
I don't do
Okay.
that either.
No, that's
But
why
I
I'm like
mean,
I
like
don't know hype like I
I'm way
don't.
more talkative. I'm
Oh
way more
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah. A
there.
little more out of our shells. I'll give you
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, she's over here like rubbing on my hand and she,
Yeah, I'm
you
like, are
want me
you
to scrub
okay?
this on you?
Cause I
Yeah,
have
hype as
I'm
fuck.
when I roll, I'm such like a physical person, so like I always have little toys, like
She
texture
does.
things. So I've got like a soft makeup brush. I always have lip balm or chapstick because I have to have,
Hmm.
And then I've got a stuffy with me, like a stuffed animal, like a soft one. I always have my sunglasses because the lights destroy my eyes.
Hmm.
And what else? There's one more thing. Oh, lotion. Sorry. A
God damn.
lotion. Yeah. I like to rub it on my hands
Yeah.
so because I like that, and I'm kind of also a little bit of a mother hen when I'm rolling. I'll walk up to people randomly through the night and be like, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need
Yeah.
some water? Do you want to roll? Do you want to play with
It's just
something?
like a cycle.
Do you need a little toy or something?"
So funny. But I feel like that's the best way to do drugs. If you're gonna do
Mhm.
drugs, do it with people you love, do it with people you
Exactly.
trust, do it in the house, do it indoors. Don't be going
Yeah.
out driving, don't be going out doing stupid shit. Like I understand sometimes it's okay to do it in certain situations,
Mhm.
but driving and drugs is not.
Yeah, you should just stay home.
Just don't do it. I feel like that's 1000% not okay, not endorsing driving and any drug. So yeah,
Yeah, like, all right, we've talked a lot about real drugs. Let's talk about fictional drugs,
fictional drugs. I don't know what the fuck you're meaning.
like fake drugs,
Yes, I understand, but what do you mean by fake drugs?
like from movies and stuff. So, like,
Oh, like
let's.
Jingle Jangle. From if you watch Riverdale, you don't know what that is. Jingle Jangle.
I have no fucking idea what Jingle Jangle
Yeah.
is. Okay, tell me about it.
I don't know. So in Riverdale, this like show thing, they have Jingle Jangle. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It comes in these little pixie sticks looking things, and they do it and they get hyped. It
That's
looks like Molly. Like it
crazy.
seems like Molly because they're like,
Oh,
like
okay.
like in the techno and shit and kind of like touchy and shit. That's Jingle Jangle.
Okay. What about Zydrate?
The fuck is that?
Okay, so from Repo the Genetic Opera, if you've never you've never seen this?
No.
Susie, go home and watch that today.
All right, go home and watch Riverdale.
Riverdale is a show, and it
Yeah,
doesn't look like something I'd enjoy.
shut the fuck up.
But I know you'd enjoy Repo the Genetic Opera. Please do yourself a favor and watch it. And it's a
I'll
musical.
try.
All
I don't really
right.
like
Yeah, I know,
musicals.
but it's a goth musical, and it's
Okay.
amazing. Okay,
Okay.
I promise, and it's all great. Anyways,
Maybe.
there's the drug in this musical. It's called Zydrate, and they have a whole song about it. Zydrate comes in a little glass vial, like yeah, and you put it in like a little gun, and you shoot it. You shoot it up essentially,
God
and
damn.
it's like it's got to be like heroin because you just feel so like they show you in the
Like really
movie.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
really fucked up, like just completely slumped out, and then it's over. Yeah, and it's so pretty. It's like this really like fluorescent bluish purple kind of glow in the dark
God damn.
thing, and it's so pretty. Like it's hands. I've seen a lot of fake drugs from
Hmm.
different movies and stuff. Hands down, Zydrate is my favorite,
Wow.
even though it's probably heroin.
Oh,
It just is
that's
so cool,
hilarious.
and the whole musical is pretty much based around that drug, and obviously, other things that I won't say.
Yeah,
I
so
won't spoil.
now that you brought that, I want to ask, how do you feel that movies demonstrate what drugs feel like? Do you think they do a good job? Do you think they do a bad job?
I have seen a lot of good, like when they portray it,
Drug
obviously,
acting?
yeah,
Uh
they
huh.
do it really well. And I'm assuming because they have a higher budget and they can spend money on the R&D, like the research and shit like that, so that way they can portray an accurate description.
Hmm.
But bro, I can't think of any right now, and I'm really upset because it's almost like I can see it in my brain. Those ones when they smoke weed and they're just like, it looks like they're on coke.
Yes.
And it's like, what are
Why are
you
you acting like
doing? Why are you
this?
acting like that? Either that, it's two of the extremes. It's either they're like on something like coke, or they're like,
Yeah, and they just like stay there.
like, yeah, and it's like, what
Like that
weed are you
commercial.
smoking?
Like that
Yeah.
commercial where that
Yeah,
girl's like
above the
sitting on the
influence or
couch and she's just
something.
like sinking
Yeah,
into
it's
the
just
couch.
deflated. Bro, are
Get
you
the fuck out of
serious?
here! Oh
Yeah,
my
man,
god.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I agree though. 50-50.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot that are like, "Yep, that's what that is."
Requiem for a Dream,
I think
they
I've seen that.
they did a phenomenal job
Is
demonstrating
that the girl with the
both.
blue hair? Is that the
No,
movie? No.
it's it's all about drugs. It's like four stories that simultaneously like interact at some point. I have it on DVD if you want to
Oh my
borrow it.
god.
Yeah, no, I was showed this movie in high school, in my chemistry class to talk about drugs and the drug chemistry and all this shit. And he was a fucking edgy teacher, okay? So it did not belong in school. That movie should not be played, but we were all into it.
He didn't give a
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah.
we weren't gonna go fucking snitch out the cool chemistry teacher,
Yeah.
okay? Anyways, that movie changed my life because
Yeah.
I'd never seen drugs done like that before. And it's a very real movie. And you see not just the effects of the drugs had on the person, but also on their life.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's crazy, bro. It doesn't have a happy ending. It's not one of those kinds of movies.
I
But
like
it
those
did
movies.
accurately portray drugs to a T where I forgot I was watching a movie and I felt bad for these people.
Wow.
So you can
All
watch it.
right.
I'll
Yeah.
let you borrow it if you want.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, I'll
great.
probably find it on TV, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. I can't think of anything else right now because that one is just taking over my brain, but
Yeah, I
definitely the
honestly can't think of
best.
any either, but I know I've seen a lot where they do drugs and they
Mhm.
really do look like they're fucked
Yeah.
up and the process is correct, like
Mhm. Like
whatever.
they did their research. They
Yeah,
know how to do
it's
drugs.
the right way. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
A1 for
Woo
acting.
woo. And they're brilliant. I wonder sometimes
If they're
if they're
actually doing
actually
it,
doing
me
it
too,
because
bitch. Me
celebrities
too.
are known for,
Doing
doing
drugs.
drugs and
Yeah.
stuff. So sometimes I feel like maybe there's a little method acting going
Yeah,
on
man.
with, like actual drugs.
So, I feel like for our last question,
Hmm.
it's very important to know what's your favorite drug? Or what's your favorite experience or whatever the fuck, to be honest.
Hmm. Um, my favorite is one that I don't get to do often. It's Molly,
Mm.
not ecstasy. Molly,
Pure
pure
MDMA.
MDMA with like maybe 2% Adderall because that's how I used to get it, and it was perfect. And those rolls, I mean, I'm still relatively new. I've only been rolling for 4 years,
Hmm.
you know. But it's it lasts forever for me, bro. And sometimes we'll take a weekend. We'll start one night,
Hmm.
go to the next morning, roll that day, and then peter out and be done. So it's like a 2-day
Oh,
experience for
God.
me. And it's just so much fun. And then I don't do it for the rest of the year. And then I look forward to doing it. It's usually for my birthday
Hmm.
because that's when I started it.
Yeah.
So I kind of like doing it around that time. And then maybe for my boyfriend's birthday too,
Hmm.
if it presents itself.
Yeah. If
But
that's
that's
what
definitely
happens.
my favorite. I love weed, and weed saved my life. But like experience wise, I love Molly. You?
I think weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think weed because even though I do like my rolls and my trips
Mm-hmm.
and the older I get, the more I realize that I am such a mind control person.
Mhm.
And if I have even the slightest uncontrol, you know what I'm saying? If I can't shut something off, or if I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like
You
if I
feel
can't step away from my body and feel okay in my brain,
mhm.
I'm not okay. And I feel like sometimes with the anxiety and just
Mm.
the
It just
experiences,
makes you have an uncomfortable
it
time.
makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. It's not that I don't enjoy myself anymore, but I think weed has always been my number one.
Because you're
Even
still completely in
I'm
control.
completely in control. I can smoke as much as I want. I can, I'm not afraid
Yeah.
of
To
overdoing it, let's
okay.
say, per
Yeah.
se, because
Do you think it has a
I'm
lot to
fine.
do with you doing them so early
Absolutely. I
and
think
for
it's
so
because of
long?
me doing it for so many times and having so many bad
Yeah.
experiences with so many fucking drugs.
See, I
A thousand
only
percent.
started doing this, like I said, at
Yeah.
26, and so I already had pretty much a safe group of people
You
to
had a
do it
clean
with.
slate, no bad
It was never
experiences.
any bad experience. I'm so thankful because I have, my boyfriend's been doing this for a while too, and he's got some horror stories,
Yeah.
and I don't have any. I don't
Yeah.
have any. My only bad experience with drugs was with acid. And it wasn't the
Oosh.
drug, it was the people I was
Yeah.
with. And it completely ruined the experience. And I definitely deserve a do over. I've been promised a do over because I enjoyed the feeling. Can I just tell you one thing before we wrap up?
Okay.
Okay. It was my first time doing acid, and I had my hair in these cute little space buns at the top too, and then the
Mhm.
rest of it was down. And I had on a collar with spikes, a black shirt, red lipstick, and a red lace
Ooh.
cameo. Okay. And my friends at the time told me to go look at myself in the mirror. And so I did. And sure as shit, I'm staring at myself, and my eyes like lifted a little bit. They elongated, and they looked almost like Japanese, like some Asian eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I got a slit, like they turned into like
Like
reptile
cat eye.
eyes.
Oh,
And
okay.
then my mouth kind of opened, and like a
Hell
serpent tongue
no.
came out,
Nope.
and I looked like this fucking crazy Asian dragon lady.
Nope.
And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking cool.
See, I wouldn't have been like, that's cool.
Yeah, for me, that was
It's crazy,
what?
man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that was like that, and some other part of that experience was really like the best part of
That's why
doing
you want to try
acid.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know for sure that I'd have a really good time if now that I'm with people that are
You're
good for
safe with.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that whole thing got fucked from before we even started doing the drugs. And it was fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Definitely. That was the only bad experience I've ever had with drugs.
That's crazy. Well, good. I'm glad you've
Yeah.
only had
I'm
one
thankful.
bad
I'm so
experience.
thankful.
Like I remember this one time it's because it's just so many, man. I had so many bad experiences, but this one time I remember being high and closing my, I can't remember what I was on, either ecstasy or like a bad trip on ecstasy or some other drug, I don't know. But laying on this guy's bed and looking at the curtain that was in front of me, it like turned into blood. So I'm like
Oh.
staring at it and everything's like red and kind of like wet, and I remember
Oh,
saying it to everybody, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Because they were like
that's
beige and shit, like
terrifying.
yours, kind of like beige color.
Yeah.
And I remember closing my eyes and being like, "No," and I would see it in my eyes. Like I would close my eyes and I could see it in my brain. You know what I'm saying? And those things, I hate those things. Like I hate
Yeah.
closing my eyes and seeing shit. That's why I don't like shrooms.
Oh.
Because
Okay. Yeah, I
every
see
time
that.
I've ever done
You
shrooms, well,
see
because that's the thing,
things.
it's a
Yeah.
hallucinant. So you see shit. I don't like that.
I love
Never like
that.
that because I close my eyes and it freaks me out. I don't like things I see. I remember this one time I saw like penises flying.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding. Like I would
That's
close my
nuts.
eyes and it was huge, weird penises with wings and they're like flopping and it was so
That's
weird. Or
crazy.
like closing
Nah.
my eyes and like seeing like weird objects, and
So like
I never
fever
had good,
dreams.
or like looking at the floor. Like I remember this one time we did shrooms at this girl's house, and I'm looking at her bed sheets, and the bed sheets are like moving and breathing, and that's
See,
not cool to me.
I
Like
like
that
that.
gives
I've
me
seen that
anxiety.
before.
Yeah, you
I've seen the
see?
patterns move and breathe
Nope,
almost.
can't do it.
I love that.
Can't do it. Can't do
That's
it.
crazy.
It's not fun for me. It gives me anxiety. It
All right.
freaks me
So your
out.
favorite is weed and your least favorite is mushrooms.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
well, no. My
Oh.
least favorite would be like sleeping pills
Oh,
and
okay.
like
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But if we're going to talk about just regular, top
Yeah,
notch ones,
non-pharmaceutical drugs.
1,000%.
Just
Mushrooms
outside
is
of
the
that.
least favorite, unless it's microdose. If it's a microdose, I like it because you don't hallucinate. You
Yeah.
just feel nice
Good.
all the way
Weed
to the
is your
top.
favorite, mushrooms least favorite.
Yeah.
Heard that.
So yeah, drugs.
I think this was a great episode.
I think we talked about a lot of experiences. I feel like
Mhm.
once again we could talk about this forever,
Yeah.
but we can't. And yeah,
It's time to end.
time to wrap it up, guys. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for the support. We love doing this, man.
Yeah, and if you guys have any experiences that you care to share or any thoughts, definitely remember to send them in to us. You can send them to underscore exploring thoughts underscore, or you can send it to our email, exploring thoughts with two S's at gmail.com.
You can also submit in our website.
That's right.
We keep forgetting
We
that you
keep
can go on
forgetting
our
you can do
website,
that.
you can submit in there any experiences, bad trips, good trips, your thoughts on drugs.
Yeah.
Are they good? Are they bad? What do you think? Let us know.
And as always, if you send us your stories with consent, we'll share them on the TikTok and the Instagram.
We really appreciate you guys, and we hope to see you next week when we talk about mindfulness.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're going to dive into what that means to us and what we can do with it.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Like, again, we appreciate the support. And remember to unleash your curiosity and always explore your thoughts.
Bye.
Bye.